What's going on, everybody? Now that we're done with the oral series for the 767, I wanted to answer a couple questions that I've been getting, mainly that has to do with the hydraulic pumps or the hydraulic panel. Anyway, the main question that's been coming across is the pressure lights. Are they system pressure lights? Are they pump pressure lights? When do the lights come on? That kind of stuff. So we're just going to talk about those real quick in this video. So first thing we got to know, our pressure lights are low pressure. Whether it's low system pressure, low pump pressure, it doesn't really matter. It's just low pressure. In the case of the primary pumps, so the things here across the top, the primaries, the pressure lights are going to be low pump pressure. So whenever the pressure in the pump goes low, pressure lights illuminate, demands kick on, and start to run as necessary. Now there is one caveat to this, and it's going to be in the center. So the center demand, so the air demand pump, that pressure light's a little bit different because it's going to be for system pressure. And the reason it's for system pressure is because the pumps could be producing the correct amount of pressure. But because the center system is the heavy system, the system pressure can drop when certain things happen, i.e. gear and flaps get moved. So when the gear and flaps get moved, there's actually an anticipation switch in there that causes that air demand pump to kick on and run, regardless of pump pressure for the number one and number two electric pumps. Again, this has to do with the size of the pumps themselves as well. The system knows that it can't keep up with the gear or flaps moving with just those two pumps, and it turns the ADP on. Okay, so let's think of this, and obviously I'm doing this completely out of order, but I'm going to pressurize the system anyway. So I turn that one on, auto, and then these would obviously be on. So in theory, what you should see on your panel during the pre-flight, if you don't have any air, so like right now I don't have an APU running, and I don't have engines running, so I'm going to get a pressure light here, a pressure light here, and a pressure light here, because they're not running. They don't have the capability of running. Now here's the kind of weird thing though. This light technically shouldn't be on, because I'm not requesting anything to move. I'm not requesting anything to be done. So this light shouldn't technically be on. I think it's a glitch in the flight sim program that I'm using. Notice how the pressure light is extinguished here and here. Those pumps aren't running though, which means they would have low system pressure or low pump pressure. So why aren't the pressure lights on? Well, the pressure lights won't be on if it's a normal condition for those pumps not to be running. Okay? So if the pumps don't run and it's a normal condition, it won't show pressure lights. But if the pump is supposed to run because this pump fails or the system pressure goes low or whatever, then the lights will illuminate. And I like to look at the pressure lights on the demands as a pressure requested, not given light, versus a low pump pressure light. Because if it was a low pump pressure light, the light would be on right now because it's not running. Hopefully that makes sense. Now the other question is, why does this number 2 pressure light illuminate? That is a load shedding thing. So again, primaries are supposed to run at the moment they're turned on. So because this one's turned on and I have electrics and it's not running, I get a pressure light because it's a primary. These, if I were to turn, if this was to fail, like let's say I'm in flight and this was to fail, and this is supposed to turn on to give me that on-demand pressure, and it doesn't, then the pressure light would illuminate. Okay? So technically, during a pre-flight, all you should see is a pressure light, pressure light, pressure light. And then all of these should be extinguished. That one should be extinguished. Okay? This pump, if you remember, in the hydraulics, This pump is inhibited to run with only one electrical source. So I only have the external power card on right now, so that one's not going to run, period. And then once both engines are started, the right and left are able to run. The center is able to run as well, but the left and right are able to run. This one will run. This one will run if it needs to. And then the moment I go flaps 1 through 20 or takeoff, once I set my flaps for takeoff, this demand pump in the auto position will run at a constant to help protect the normal braking system, which allows us to protect a rejected takeoff in case there's a failure and I need the hydraulics in that normal hydraulic system or normal braking system. The demands over here, again, this one is inhibited to run until a second generator comes online. That could be the first engine start, that could be both engines started, whatever. These pressure lights always come on when the pump's not running. These pressure lights only come on when the pressure is requested from them and not given. Okay? I hope that answers your questions. If it doesn't, please feel free to email me, gsiguybrandon.com or at gmail.com or brandon at gsiguy.com. Either one works for me, and it'll get directly to me. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.